Discretion is advised.
If you feeling like a pimp, niggas call pimp.
Awesome sauce! Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This is Awesome Sauce Radio here on the, Awesome Sauce Radio channel. Please check out my good friends, Comic Crusaders. Check out Undercover Capes. Also, please check out Demon Seed Radio, www.demonseedradio.com. This show will be re-aired there Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Would like to thank my sponsors for tonight. I'd like to start with 98 Wednesdays. Get your, comics in a guaranteed 98 each and every Wednesday from 9 Tell them Blind Adam sent you. I thank you very much for the box, and according to tracking, I should have it by tomorrow. Sorry about that. And also want to thank Wonder World Comics. Go to wonderworldcomics.com. Check them out. They have great variants. We will talk about his variants in a minute. And I also want to thank Exotica. The sexiest convention on God's green earth starts April 30th to May 1st in Chicago, Illinois. The Windy City is going to be spiced up with TNA. So go to exotica.com and get your tickets. Of course, you can make memories, like if you bring up the Stormy Daniels picture, and I appreciate that. You want a memory like this? You see me with Stormy Daniels, the most famous porn star in the world? You go to Exotica, starting with Chicago, April 30th to May 1st, and you can make memories just like that, baby. Yeah. Also want to thank the Big Apple Comic Con. The Big Apple Comic Con is returning March 26th to the New Yorker Hotel. Go to BigAppleComicCon.com. Also check out Key Collector Comics. Key Collector Comics is one of the greatest apps on God's green earth. Type in Blind Adam, all one word. That's Blind Adam, all one word. All lowercase. 2-3 weeks of the Key Collector on the house. And last but not least, of our sponsors, who I want to thank. Well, no, never mind. I take that back. Hulk do not think. But you go to Bad Dragon. You need some toys to spice up all your toys, to spice up your sex lives in a romance, especially when it was downtime. Then you go to Bad Dragon, bad-dragon.com. Tell them why I sent you. They got everything you ever need or want. I would also like if you could please go to SoundCloud and search for Misty Love. Good friend of the show. We're working on something together behind the scenes. But go to SoundCloud / Misty Love. I would appreciate that. Check out the song Malibu Nights. It's fucking phenomenal. Also, you can go to Whatnot and follow Calamity Collectibles. His next Whatnot show will be next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Calamity Collectibles on Whatnot each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Now I would like to welcome in the sexy, the talented, the queen of golden showers, Autumn South.
Yay! Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good. How was your week?
That's okay. I mean, today sucked pretty hard, but it's okay. I got my whole YouTube channel banned.
Week at casinos.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Whole YouTube channel banned today.
Wait, it was banned today?
Yep.
That's why I didn't see anything in my history that I saved.
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking for today like 3 hours ago. Banned for spam and deceptive content or something.
All right, that's their politically correct way of saying that the content that you were putting on there, they didn't like.
Yeah, I guess they didn't fuck with it, and like I'm gonna still make content. Obviously, I just
yeah. All right, so
next I might put it back on YouTube, just spice it up a little bit. But like obviously it was listed as pranks. I've seen way worse.
Yeah, just a lot more stuff on there, but
Like straight.
let's hang out, relax. We'll talk some comics. We'll talk about filming a future video at our guest's new shop in his bathroom. This may be luxurious. He's the most controversial retailer in comic book history. He's a legend. The man who's banned from Diamond Comic Distributors at live events, the Life, I think. Dennis Barger Jr., the man behind Wonder World Comics. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I want to know what kind of deceptive content you were posting.
I'll describe it.
It's pretty much just like me taking a pee in like different spots. I mean, I have pants on. I am completely clothed. And it's, we were doing pranks like locking doors so I couldn't get in places and like stuff like that. Actual legitimate videos.
All I was going to say, I think it's a deceptive content every time one of the YouTubers makes you think you're going to be able to go out on a date with the chick, so that's all deceptive content. That if you leave them a super chat, they're going to go out with you.
Exactly.
Like,
but I was watching like these, there was hot Asian girl massage that this guy was like massaging her boobies, and like the whole time he's doing it, she's like seems all freaked out. And I was like, so unconsensual rapey vibe massage video is cool, but Autumn like pissing in the park is not cool. Like completely covered.
You know what? You were marking your territory.
Yeah, it's like
it's a nature video. Damn it!
Exactly. Like who said that was real pee anyways? Like maybe it was just water. Maybe it was a trick. Maybe I was. YouTube doesn't know. They're just fucking weird.
I don't know. So what's new in the world of Wonder World Comics, Dennis?
What? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
What's new in the world of Wonder World Comics?
I'm never satisfied with just sitting around and being bored. So I'm decided to take advantage of the post-COVID dip. And I talked to you about this a year ago, motherfucker. You remember this?
Yeah, I do actually.
I said, this is the perfect time. Don't get locked into what everybody else wants you to do. This is the perfect time to make deals with rent. And you were talking about opening your store, and I was sitting there going, look, man, that you can make super deals right now. So I put my money where my mouth is, and I contacted our local mall here in Monroe, Michigan, and I said, hey, what do you got available? And they said, well, we got this many square feet for this much. And I'm like, yeah, come on, get out of here. I'm not going to tell you the amount, but I was able to get that price down by a third of what they originally came at me with.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how much it was because
I can't.
It's like an astronaut.
But if you ever asked for the standard rent rate from 2 years ago, I literally was probably a good quarter under what the standard rent rate was back then. Okay. So a quarter of.
Yeah.
Usually I think back in the day, malls are all different. There's some malls that are like $24 a square foot, $36 a square foot, plus triple net, and you add in all these other. And I said, look, I'm testing you out. You're not testing me out. I've had businesses for 15 years, blah, blah, blah. I own a building. It's not going to be ready for another year. And so I said, basically, I will try you out for a year. I'll commit to a year, and, we'll see how this goes. So leave me open-ended on one end. You can be open-ended on the other, but at least you're going to get my visibility. And then, so he said, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I could have heard, I thought I heard somebody. So yada, yada, yada. we're gonna take possession in March. We're gonna build it out in March, and then in April we're gonna open the location. I think probably April 1st. I don't know. We might do it March 31st.
All right, nice.
And then we'll be there ready for Free Comic Book Day.
That's awesome, Sauce.
Sweet.
You have any new variants coming up? If
Well, and I haven't done a Free Comic Book Day in 5 years.
Yeah, I love Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
Gotta do Free Comic Book
So
Day.
where is this shop going to be located?
Said Michigan. Michigan, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Michigan, Monroe, Michigan. It's about 30 miles north of Toledo.
Sweet. Yeah, because I was about to say, the
And the
mall,
great-
our mall sucks. It has like barely anything in it, but they charge
Well-
so much that it's worthless. It's
Well,
not
and
even
that's the reason why I gave these guys a shot. They've got a humane society that's been in there since 3 or 4 years, and it's literally where you can go to donate stuff to the humane society, and they sell it like a flea market. I'm like, okay. And then about a year ago, they had a secondhand store go in there, and I'm like, okay, this mall's, And then I'm seeing these guys survive for a year, off of secondhand stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? What if I bring, if they're getting secondhand stuff, but I don't want to bring my A game because I don't want to, load it up with thousands of dollars worth of valuable rare comics that eventually somebody will try to steal. But what if I just bring in a mid game on a comic book store? Nothing but dollar boxes, nothing but half off and lower trades.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap action figures, cheap Star Wars figures, just stuff that I have tons of sitting around. Let's just load that. And then we can do, we'll do new Magic, we'll do new sports cards, we'll do a few new comics, new trade paperbacks, etc.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
And I mean, it's only a 1 year commitment. It's a 1 year commitment. It's not a lot of money, and I've pissed away a lot more money on a lot dumber things. So
Yeah, like it's not a big thing. It's not gonna break you, so might as well just try it and see if
that's it. Exactly.
it
If
helps.
you never risk anything, you can't see if there's going to be
You
a
can't get the
reward.
biscuit if you don't risk it.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
There, yeah.
When is Free Comic Book Day this year, Dennis?
I'm sorry.
When is Free Comic Book Day this year?
May 7th this year is Free Comic Book Day, and May 6th is the release of Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like we have like May the 4th, and
Yeah.
then like the 5th, and then we should just
Revenge
do
of the
May the
5th
6th,
or
May the
6th.
6th,
Yeah.
and then Comic Book Day. Love
Right.
that. We should
Well,
just make it a whole
and-
Star Wars thing.
And this year is the 45th anniversary of Star Wars on May 25th.
Oh yeah, it should
Oh,
just
wow.
be like a month, like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Geek Month.
Yeah, May Star Wars month. I'm totally down for that. I haven't
I still get to watch.
done any Star Wars. Don't listen to him over here. He's never. I don't even know why we're married if you never watched Star Wars.
Wait,
About to write the papers out now, Simon.
Excuse me, Autumn. Did our manager just say that he's never watched the Star Wars
That's correct.
and he's managing both our careers?
He is not
So
like.
he's got me do pegblindadam.com or blindadamgetspeg.com, blindadam.com. You got. We're
I
gonna
think
have to
you're right.
Chris
You have
Howard,
to-
and
yeah.
he's never watched the Star Wars.
Yes.
So he snatched up blindadam.com. So obviously, peg Blind Adam, and Blind Adam gets pegged or whatever. Those ones will be available too, obviously.
All right, we're gonna have to like one of the Exoticas. One night after everything, we're gonna have to rectify this.
So
Yes.
you're gonna be in Chicago. What is it? End of April, beginning of May?
Not sure if I'm gonna be at Chicago. I know right now I'm gonna be at the October one in Jersey and the December
okay.
one in Washington.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that the other two don't conflict with like any other big 3-day cons. since the convention season is starting again too. You
Yeah.
doing any
hopefully.
conventions this year, Dennis?
You know, I have not even planned out my schedule. Right now, I kind of put a tentative on Star Wars Celebration out in California. I'm waiting to hear back from Marvel on whether or not we can do a variant for it.
That would
And then
be
once I know
awesome.
that, then I'll plan the convention after that.
The other ones that came in that.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So, excuse me, Autumn, Dennis, did you guys both see the Doctor Strange trailer?
Yes.
I did not. I was super duper busy. What was
Well,
it? Doctor
Spoiling
Strange?
anything, really, Dennis? What did you think?
You know, it's getting to the point. Here's the problem, Adam. All of these naysaying little bitches out there going, I don't think it's going to be good. It wasn't as good as WandaVision. I don't think Spider-Man's going to be that good. And here's the thing is they put out such a giant echo. They are such a giant pebble in the pond of ripples that it's making Marvel and Disney give away more and more and more. Dude, can you imagine if you had seen, well, you know, obviously seen, Adam, come on.
That's okay.
But if you're
Excuse
shown
me,
the
can you bring up the
entire,
new Avengers 7 cover, please?
yeah. So, you know, I
Since
didn't
this is
need
the
to
book
know
that
this in the
ain't
trailer.
crazy.
Can you imagine how much more batshit crazy this would have gone if opening night and the first audiences that got to see this heard that voice and saw that scene?
Yeah, but I'm still not convinced that that's Patrick Stewart.
Oh God, it's Patrick Stewart.
It's Patrick Stewart, but I'm not 100% convinced that we're getting who we think we're getting yet.
Well, you know, we're getting the Illuminati because, you know, the fact is that's an alternate Mordu. We've got all the alternates now. All the pieces are coming into place. You know, Strange is being punished for opening up too many portals to alternate universes. America Chavez, her entire MO is opening up portals to other universes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be kind of like, you know we had the TVA with the Kangs controlling this, but now we know that got undone. And now here's all these things that have popped up in Kang's presence, or the He Who Shall Remain's presence being gone. So now the Illuminati have formed, which is just the Council of Ricks or the Council of Reeds or the Council of Kangs.
You know, it'd
it's
be
made
awesome
up of-
if we had the Castle Rick just make some type of weird little cameo, even with someone watching the episode of Rick and Morty somewhere in the background.
Yep, absolutely. But you know, the thing is this is a constant trope. But I mean, we all knew it was possible. We all knew it was, you know, gonna happen. I mean, dude, you didn't see the stack of them, but I posted a stack of, you know, 20 copies of this and 20 copies of that and 20 copies of the other thing that all tied into this. I knew it was possible. That's why I kept them in a box, safe and sound for this day. But I didn't necessarily need it in this. But if I would have seen it, I would have been blown away. The same thing that when we walked into Spider-Man No Way Home, we all knew it was possible that Toby and Andrew were going to be in that. But it wasn't until they showed up that we lost our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And now
the trailer wasn't overwhelmed, wasn't
exactly.
overstuffed like
We knew
a
we were getting Doc Ock. We knew
like
we
a
were getting
gangbang.
The extended trailers kill it most of the time. I'm like, I don't even want to watch it because
Right,
I've
exactly.
seen that's the whole movie, all the good parts of it.
Absolutely, Autumn. That's
Yeah.
the thing is you don't need to give this away. This is like Stormy Daniels giving hand jobs to people waiting in line. You don't need to. They're going to pay you to get a picture next to you, Stormy. You don't need to give them a hand job while they're waiting in line.
Exactly. Like, if you
you
give all
know,
the good parts away, why are you even going to go watch it at this
Did I
point?
miss the free hand jobs?
Exactly.
You want free hand jobs from Stormy Daniels? All right, I picked up
I would wait in line for that.
a bunch of new stuff this week while I was out. A bunch of shit.
What did you pick up?
I said I picked up a bunch of new stuff this week.
Nice. What did you pick
Here's
up?
my Masters of Kung Fu that I told you about.
Mhm.
This one, it says April 75, 35 cents, The Hands of Shang-Chi and the Master of Kung Fu. I don't know. I paid $25 for it at the flea market. That's pretty sweet. I was like, Nem was like, it's like $100 comic. And I was like, oh, okay. We got some Riverdale.
Nice.
We got this one. I don't even know what this is. Helena.
Well, I think that's missing its cover. Is that the cover?
I think so. The whole thing is like that.
Oh, the whole thing's a black and white.
And it looks like the back is just like.
Yeah, somebody tore the cover off of that. It
You
looks
think
like.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like, I don't know. It was in a package though. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
They just put a bunch of stuff in the middle of the pack.
Oh yeah, the New Titans. We've got.
Hold that up again. Is that George Perez? Does it say Perez on there?
It says by Wolfman, Grummet, and They. It says.
Okay, so this is after Perez.
Yeah,
So Adam, you heard what happened with Perez this week, right?
yeah. Well, first of all, my hearts and prayers go out to him and his family as he's still recovering. And the other big thing, Avengers versus JLA, the biggest clusterfuck in trade paperback history about to happen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Autumn. I just wanted to we'll finish your showing us your stuff, and then we'll talk about that.
Okay. We have.
Oh, you got something from Source Point there, though. Yeah, Source Point Press.
Awesome
Steiner.
sauce.
That's our boys.
More Hank Steiner.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. I want to read this though. We have a Batman. 10-cent Avenger.
Yeah, that was the. Ooh, actually, turn that one around. That Betty and Veronica.
This one here.
Turn that Betty and Veronica around. Yeah, that's a New Dimension Comics. Are you in the Pittsburgh area?
Yeah, we're in Maryland.
Oh, okay, so that's New Dimension Comics. That's my boy Todd McDivitt. He owns that store, and I think he has like 5 or 6 locations and does like tons of variants and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
see, like
So
the
that's
comic book
actually-
mafia over in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
This is
Right, exactly.
yeah 6 stores.
Yep, there you go.
Always
Todd
buying.
didn't even pay for that ad. But, you know, yeah.
We've got Sinister.
Bar Sinister.
Bar Sinister. We've got more Riverdale because I'm obsessed.
You know where that joke's from, don't you, Blind Adam?
What's that?
Bar Sinister.
Oh, okay.
It's the bad guy from one of the old cartoons from the 70s, Simon Bar Sinister.
Yep.
And then they just changed it into Bar Sinister.
Oh yeah, because like look at her, she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
I like her.
We should have Autumn do a cosplay as that.
I'll do cosplay as anything you want, Adam. Here's this. What is this? What if? What is this?
Okay. So that's alternate universe storyline. So if you know that like Spider-Man got bit by a spider and then became Spider-Man, what if the spider bit one of the other kids in the school?
Oh, okay.
So it's like an alternate story. So
Yeah, because there's like a blue Hulk right there. The blue Hulk.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet. What's this? Oh, did I show this already?
Yeah, you did.
Skyline. These ones. These
Yeah.
ones. And more Riverdale, obviously. So we got a bunch of.
So I have a question to everyone in the chat. Would you ever see Autumn cosplay as Betty or Veronica?
I think I knew the answer to this question. I mean, personally, it would be Veronica. That's the manager's over there laughing like this dirty laugh. You're a weird ass. But yeah, definitely, I would say Veronica. But I mean, I think I could pull off Betty.
Hey, it's Ultra Magnus. What's up,
Blossom.
Maximus?
Cheryl Blossom.
Ultra, what's up? Check the Wednesday night presser coming up at like midnight or something. What's up, brother?
Cherry Blossom. You know what? I'm with Ultra on this one. Cherry Blossom for sure.
Yeah,
The Blossom, yeah.
yeah, I agree with Ultra.
Cherry gets to turn the headlights on.
Oh, yeah, Sarah? For sure.
You know, or we could just, Cherry from Cherry Comics, we can do that too. So yeah, what's your thoughts on the Avengers versus JLA trade coming out?
Okay, so one of my friends messages me. He had a poll back in the old days, 10 years ago, and he's like, "Hey man, can you get me one of these? My brother wants one." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, yeah, let me take a look at this. And so I looked it up, JLA Space Avengers. No mention of it anywhere in Diamond System. So I'm like, okay, and I'm letting everybody know just how you can find this in Diamond System, because I had 2 other comic store retailers call me up and ask me the exact same thing. So you can't look it up by JLA Avengers. You have to look it up by Hero Initiative, because that's who's making it. Now, there's some interesting stuff, because apparently their old J. Scott Campbell covers are still available, which is a nice little addition if you don't have them. I have stacks of them. But because anytime the Hero Initiative makes a book, I always just kind of set, hey, how much do I want to donate to Hero this particular time? And I just buy that many of that product, and that's me donating to them and getting something in return. So I looked at it, it says 7,000 copies, strict allocation, here's the problem. Okay, so they're making 7,000 copies of a book that literally has been out of print for 25 years, maybe 20 at the most, or at the least.
I think they came out in 2003.
Okay, so
I remember this coming out during my Howard Stern show days.
So maybe it's 15 years. Maybe it's 15 years.
Yeah.
Because I know when I opened my store, it was available, but only you could get it from like secondary distributors. But I remember it being gone with Diamond real quick.
Yeah, because I remember that slipcase they put out being, put out ultra quick and then being gone too.
Okay, so yada yada yada. So this has been out of print for at least 15 years, I'm guessing, if I had to guess. And Marvel and DC have definitely been at each other's throats for all 15 of those years.
Yep.
I get $75 to $100 a piece for like issue 1 and issue 2. I get like $50 a piece for issue 3 and 4 on Amazon. So it's a huge enough item that the secondary market is really huge on this thing.
Oh yeah.
And so when I heard 7,000, go ahead. Oh, so when I heard they're only making 7,000, I go, that has got to be either Marvel or DC saying, we will only let you make this many copies. And if I had to guess, that they're probably letting them do 10,000, and that they're going to keep 3,000 copies to take around to the shows and sell them for donations at the shows.
So is that like, does it just like whoever gets the comics gets the comics? Like, do you buy a certain amount?
No, because here's the deal. So if they're making 7,000, that means 7,000 go in this big hopper, kind of a big drum. Okay, and then we all start throwing our orders at it. So if I threw out an order, let's just pretend the 3 of us are the only 3 retailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, Autumn, you want to order 1 copy. And Adam, you're like, oh, this is going to get gobbled up. I'm going to order 1,000 copies.
Okay.
And then let's just say Dennis, being the I want to corner the market guy, I'm going to order 10,000 copies. So that means they have 11,001 copies in orders for these 7,000, and they can only make 7,000. Well, they're going to take 7,000 divided by 11,000, and then they're going to go, okay, everybody gets 0.8 of what, or maybe even, you know what, let's up it a little bit more. Everyone's going to get 0.5 of what they ordered. Okay, so that means I'm going to get 5,000 copies. That means Adam's going to get 500 copies, but But then, Autumn, you're sitting over there with your one order, and Adam and I just gobbled up all the copies.
Amazon stock.
So what's going to happen to Autumn's order in the system? Well, it's going to come up at 0.5, and they're not going to round it up. So Autumn's going to get shafted. So now extrapolate that to all the stores ordering all the copies. Well, let's just say,
Like first come, first serve, basically.
No, but what it is it's first come, first serve, but the number gets divided before you start divvying it out. So what happens is if one person or 10 people, the biggest retailers in the country, and we all know how this works. Remember there was a book called White Number One by Black Mask Comics. It was on FOC week after week, and Lucas talked about it, and Mel talked about it. And it was like, allocated to, I can't remember how many copies they made of it.
No more.
But we all ordered like 100 to 1,000 copies of it. We all ended up getting 2.
I got 1.
And so everybody was like, well, why the fuck did you even put it on the order if you were just going to give us 2? Just give every retailer 2.
True.
So that's what's going to happen here is I'll tell you right now, Midtown Comics is going to order 1,000 copies of it, maybe 2,000. The Lone Star is going to order 1,000 copies. Mile High is going to order 1,000 copies. There's going to be 10,000 orders from this from 10 retailers, period, in my opinion. So automatically, that's going to throw the skew off completely. So everyone's going to get at least half their order.
Dennis, do you think they did this just to appease the George Perez fans who were demanding this?
Yes.
Like the day that hit the unfortunate news of his, upcoming.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how to word it, so I'm not. But just
no, I'll say it. Marvel and DC know that George Perez left the best part of his life on the battlefield working on their books.
Yeah.
And now that he's kind of in the home stretch, hey, I hope he lasts another 2 years. But right now, man, there's so many things going on right now. I got 3 friends with friends in hospice. It's a nightmare out there.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to have George for much longer. But you can't be the people who denied his fans that one last book. And Marvel wasn't going to let DC capitalize off it, and DC wasn't going to let Marvel capitalize off of it. So they said, okay, we'll let Hero Initiative. I'm sure Hero Initiative stepped up and said, hey, guys, if you don't do it, we can do it for you, and then all the money could go to charity.
They became the one kid who was willing to share the cookie when all the other kids were like, fuck you.
Exactly.
So what? Would they have both contacted Heroes and just been like, you can only do 7,000. Like, that's all you get.
Well, and so when they did it, so my guess is when Hero did contact him and they both started talking to each other and emails, because you got to figure this whole thing came up 2 months ago when George announced he was sick. And people immediately were like, oh, we put it back into print. Please, Marvel and DC, put it back into print. And I think they were hoping to get this done before his last signing, which now has been canceled because George has now been moved into.
Has it been canceled indefinitely, or?
No, I believe his wife said that put out a message today, or somebody put out a message today that they've decided to move George to a hospice rest. It's not like a hospice. It's kind of like a secondary hospice.
It's one of those hospice rehab type deals.
Right, but it's not a place where he really got the life sucked out of him in the last little thing that he had to do.
Yeah.
And it just kind of kicked him in the nuts to the point where he wasn't able to do the last signing. So I believe they've officially canceled. If somebody down in the chats can confirm that, but I think they officially canceled the signing that they said they were holding off on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I don't know, but
you know what? Hey,
asked Matthew over at Trinity or Steve McDonald or.
There's a big chicken and the egg thing. Adam, I always get accused of talking over, so just speak up if you want to get a word in edgewise here. But Betty White, they were so excited to celebrate Betty White's 100th birthday that they had her do a TV show and had her doing all these interviews, and they had her doing photo shoots for magazines that were going to come out a month from then. And it makes me wonder, did you wear the poor woman out celebrating that she lived to be 100 so that she died a week before she turned 100?
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I was like,
again, let's let Autumn get a word on, please.
yeah.
Go ahead, Autumn.
What?
I know, it sounds like you were trying to say something.
Oh, were you guys trying to talk to me? Or you thought, no, I wasn't saying anything. I was just agreeing.
Just want to make sure. Yeah, I mean, you see what that People magazine, which celebrates her 100th birthday, goes for?
Yeah, now she has a bunch of, now she just has a bunch of photos of her, 100th birthday, and she's passed away, and they probably worked her, to death, basically.
And to me, that's where, you know, in the back of my head, I can tell you I didn't send anything in to get George to sign. You know, I'm very happy with the times I met him, the couple times I had autographs from him. I don't need anything more to remember George and his amazing art and career. But it almost seemed like, and I had so many people contact me, and no offense to them because they didn't get those opportunities to meet him or get something signed. But with the amount of people that were contacting me to find George Perez things to get him to sign for this last signing, it makes me wonder, was this signing going to be so goddamn big that it killed George faster than, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, because even common George Perez books, you know, his Marvel 201 stuff.
Yeah.
Selling like mad. So just some of his common Flash issues. Anything with Perez, especially his key art. The only other thing I wanted to get signed and I didn't have it anymore was the Mead Avengers Trapper Keeper thing that came out in the 70s. And then I realized I lost it in the move. I was like, oh, okay, I got my stuff signed, including a paper bag, which he signed as a joke.
Do you send books to stuff like that? How's that work? Do you send them to him?
Well, I believe that they were doing a.
Actually, she's still new to the hobby, so.
Yeah, no.
I know, but I don't know the in-depth things. But I definitely learn.
You know, the thing is there's these guys hold up that CGC. Okay, can confirm that it was canceled and CGC apologized to everybody who already sent books. Okay, so that company that put that comic book in that piece of plastic is called CGC.
Yeah, and grade them and everything else.
Yeah. But they also facilitate signings. So they get a hold of a creator or an artist, and they're like, hey, man, can we come down to your house, and we got to bring a whole bunch of stuff, and you sign it all, or you come to our offices in Florida, and we'll buy you lunch and dinner, and we'll go out afterwards, but you just come in and you sign all this stuff and you draw sketches for these customers, and we'll collect the money and we'll give you this much per autograph, etc. So they call themselves, they're kind of a middleman.
Okay, yeah.
So these guys made a deal with George because they worked with George before. I'm not saying there's anything salacious about it, but they'd worked with George before, and I don't know if George approached them or they approached George, but he said, look, I don't need any money, but hey, I'll do this last autograph signing where all the proceeds go to my charity. And I think he thought he had, because I want to say this was announced in December, Adam, am I right?
It was right around the holidays because the original cutoff was January 31st.
But originally, I think they said George has 6 months to live, and I think that number felt shorter at a certain point in January for them, and that's kind of when, it got canceled. But I think it was going to be so overwhelming. I mean, and George is a beast, man. I've seen him, bleed his knuckles from 9 a.m. at a convention until 6 p.m.
I've seen the last convention I saw him at. He was one of the first curators there and the last curator to live.
Yep. And on top of that, he spent most of the evening in the bars checking out the cosplayers.
People don't know this, but George was a yearly attendee at FetishCon.
No, everybody knows it. We just don't mention it.
Well,
FetishCon. What's that?
It's a FetCon. It happens every year in St. Petersburg, Florida, and it's the leading convention for fetish models and fetish toy companies, and
The usual, you know.
insane. Just imagine Exotica on crack.
Yeah.
What was, hey, Adam, back in the day, do you remember the fetish model who used to work with Hero Initiative and dress as Wonder Woman
Yep.
at all the cons?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wanna do some cosplays, but make it.
I want to say this was like 25 years ago, 20 to 25
Yeah.
years.
'Cause I remember the first time I got in touch with the Hero Initiative was at San Diego '99 or 2000, and then she was there.
Yeah. I'm going to try to look it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, there's always been there's always been a link between George Perez, kind of the fetish stuff that he was doing with Wonder Woman, getting all tied up. He kind of leaned into the whole origin of Wonder Woman.
Look at Starfire's costume.
Absolutely. So I mean, we love George. George had a blast doing it.
Unfortunately, I never got an answer back. But I offered to teach him Braille when we were talking, having a heart-to-heart back in 19 about his sight going, and unfortunately, I think he just got too sick after that and wanted his piece. But I offered to teach him Braille, and he was there. He gave me a big hug.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll share it. There's two characters that made me the blind person I am today. One is Daredevil. The other is motherfucking Deathstroke. Deathstroke's blind in one eye, and he's like the world's leading assassin.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the type of blind person I want to be. I thanked him for that, and I had my memories with him, and we underestimate what the value of the time we get to spend with these people is worth, Adam. And I hear so many of these guys, oh man, if I'd met Jack Kirby, I would have asked him for a sketch. Shut the fuck up.
If I had a time machine and I met Jack Kirby, all I'd want to do is smoke a cigar with him. And the amount of people I've had a drink with, or shot pool with, or shot darts with, or smoked a cigarette with, I can't put a price on that. And me and my buddies were just talking. One of our buddies died last year during COVID and from cancer. And, all those moments that we think about and we're like, dude, we hung out with Steve Dillon for a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Drank with Steve Dillon and smoked cigarettes with Steve Dillon. Sure, that's probably what helped kill him. But
I'll bring this back to porn and,
yeah, it's like that because once you get into the con world, it's super simple, if not one of the easiest things to do to be like, hey, I'm here, and then you're just outside or you're walking down a hallway and you have a short conversation with someone that is uber important or famous or whatever, and you're just like, oh, they're normal, I'll shoot the shit with them because they're they're pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Actually, one of my greatest dad experiences that ever happened at any convention, either a comic book or porn, was Exotica 2015 when Dennis Hoff and Ron Jeremy walked me to help me get to the diner in the Sheraton Hotel, and they're like, here, you're here alone. Why don't you sit and have breakfast with us? And
that's awesome.
It was, one of the coolest hours I ever spent in my life.
Adam,
and there's nothing you could have bought from them or asked them for that's any cooler than finding out that they were sweethearts and they didn't have to bring you into their world for breakfast, but they did.
Oh yeah, it was. That's why when I hear the, I think my dad's guy would have asked him for a sketch. Go fuck yourselves.
I know.
All right, so New York Comic Con is October 6th. Is that
I should be there this year.
Yeah, it's around the same
I
time.
mean, maybe be you and a mutual friend
I
of
want
ours.
to
can
go.
actually
I
get
want to go
drinks.
to I want to go to New York Comic Con.
All right, we're gonna make
Pretty
that happen.
sure that Claudio Sanchez is going to be there.
Exactly, Tim.
Who's gonna be
And-
there?
I think Claudio Sanchez is going to be there.
Nice.
Oh, from Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my.
I met
that's
them
my
a million times there. Oh, very cool.
I love him so much. Like
Yeah, I have a couple of the original comic books and some of the original variants that they did for New York Comic Con exclusives.
my heart. Yeah, I think he's going to be at New York this year. So I want to
Yeah,
go.
who are the three? There's Claudio, the girlfriend, and the third guy that are always there.
Yeah, the guy, people from like Evil Wink. I think
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go and have him
Very
sign
nice.
his stuff because I like religiously collect like the Armor Wars, like
Well,
all
and-
the
and
stuff.
That's why I buy it because
Coolest shit.
you guys have such a cult following of those guys that people don't understand. And every once in a while, you hear one of the comic speculators go, "Oh, I heard this is a hot comic." Dude, you have no idea.
Yeah, hot
When-
comics.
when
like,
one of those
anything
guys-
that they make is hot, and for like us legit collectors, we will like kind of think it even like the scalper price. Like we're sitting there on eBay, like thinking about it, like it could be worth it. Like I might
Yeah.
spend the extra money.
I've never had second stage turbo engine #1, but I've had a couple #2s come through. And
See,
they
the
are
second stage one, I had #1 CG Seed, and it was like the original one.
yeah, the original
And,
one is impossible to find.
Exactly, impossible to find. It got ruined in my house fire like 3 years ago, and I was pissed because like super hard to find. I got #2 again, like I got the second part of it, but there's
think
just some of them that you can't even
Like
find.
the rumor is that they only made like 1,000 copies of that at the first show, and they sold out of all of them in one show or something. I can't remember.
Exactly,
Because-
because there's a lot, like there will be a lot of things. Like you have to be at this tour on this day in this city to pick up this like exclusive, whatever item or
Yeah.
something. It's like
Yeah, and then they did
$300,
another.
$400. You're like talking mad prices for,
They
something-
did. So they did that Amory Wars and Key of Z. Is that the other
Key of Z and then Kill Audio.
Kill Audio? Yeah. Okay.
And there was one with like a little like robot kid. I can't remember what it was. It was like a
That's something that if Ultra's still in the chat, Ultra, that is to me, that's the deep track of comic book collecting. Is that avant-garde, like Clockwork Angel by Perth, the drummer for Rush, and Fallout Toy Works,
Yep.
and obviously Umbrella Academy and all of that. But there's an entire genre of Tom Morell did, I think, Orchid. There's so many of these rockers.
That
have this-
out of Ravens and Wings, I do really well with that third
Yeah.
work by Gerard Way.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even his Doom Patrol stuff still does really well for me.
Mhm.
Oh, and that peel off gyro sticker on the one.
Mhm.
Excuse me, the greatest producer in the world can bring up the Kick-Ass 3 picture for a minute. I just want to know, what do you guys think of the rumors that the movie Kick-Ass is going to be rebooted?
Mhm.
The first one was perfect. I don't think it needs rebooting.
Oh, definitely not.
You
Now, Daredevil, on the other hand,
hey, we got a great TV show.
we're not going to
Yeah.
talk about Daredevil.
Yeah, I lost it on that Daredevil movie. The second the blind guy is doing somersaults with the average woman in the playground on the Jungle Gym, I'm like, you both blew your entire
Yeah,
secret
I
identity.
laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah.
And
Did
I'm
I
like,
hear that there was gonna be I thought
And
I
that's
read
in the
somewhere
first
about
100
Green
minutes.
Lantern. Are they redoing a Green Lantern movie? Or did I just imagine that?
TV
I
show.
think it's going to be a TV show on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, where did I
Let me
hear
go get a
that?
refill real quick.
All right.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. I was like, I thought I heard Green Lantern, but I liked the first
It was a
one.
decent movie. I think it gets a bad rap.
Oh yeah, 100%. And now it's not like oh god, what's his face? Deadpool guy.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. It's not like he can go back and just be Green Lantern now.
And that's never happening again.
Like that will never happen. He can't just go back and also be Green Lantern and be Deadpool at the same time. Like that won't. People will not fuck with that. So they're gonna have to pick a new character completely if they would do something like that. I mean, HBO is obviously gonna make it good. I have 100% faith in HBO Max because they put out some bangers of shows. Bangers.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch the Watchmen show?
The Watchmen show? No, I didn't even know they had a Watchmen show.
Yeah, I was actually I watched half of the first episode. I was like, I'm done. And then I just was flipping through YouTube today. Now, yeah, I subscribe to a lot of haters, but somebody made a 2-hour and 30-minute video about how bad Watchmen sucks.
I only watched the first episode because I was at the premiere of it in New York Comic Con in 19.
Okay. And what did you think?
I thought it was blah. It didn't need to be made, and I was like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker, I should have went to the AEW panel.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. So I got to, I'm name dropping here, but I got to hang out with Peter Weller for an entire weekend. And one of the topics when we were smoking cigars at the cigar shop, and he asked me, goes, what do you think would be the biggest franchise that I could reboot? And I said, I don't think you need to reboot it other than.
Did he not see that RoboCop thing in 15?
Well, that's why we were talking about it, because we were in Detroit. I had him in Detroit, and we were doing a lot of Detroit stuff, RoboCop stuff. And I think I went right into his answer, which was Buckaroo Banzai. And I explained to him that Buckaroo Banzai is a concept that he is the titular character, but that it's built up this whole secondary thing. So I'm talking to him and he's like, "Wow, that's a really interesting take on it." I don't want to tell you my idea because it'll get stolen by Hollywood and Kevin Smith or something.
Hey. There's no bashing of Kevin Smith on this channel. Thank you.
So basically, the point is he liked the idea that I was coming at it from a standpoint where I wasn't trying to change Buckaroo Banzai. I was trying to put Buckaroo Banzai at the finish line and then get the rest of the cast to him. That's all I'll tell you. So
It's interesting.
and I think the problem is these guys are going at Lord of the Rings, Watchmen. They're going at it the wrong direction. They want to take this franchise and drag it here. They don't want they don't want to go to the franchise. Like you could easily make a Watchmen movie or a TV series where Watchmen is still Watchmen. Dr. Manhattan is still.
You could have went with the before Watchmen material and adapted that than what we got.
No, but you don't even need to include all of the characters from Watchmen. You go Watchmen here, and then you go Watchmen. Here's a whole bunch of other people, other superheroes that weren't part of that New York club and weren't part of the World War II club, and here's a whole bunch of heroes that sprang up after New York and after all the cities exploded. And they are trying to figure out the story that we already know. We already know that Dr. Manhattan wasn't responsible and that Ozymandias was the one that was. We know all of that. That's the story of Watchmen. It's here. It's planted. go find somebody else to get to there. If you want to bring this whole new world,
Yeah, do like a prequel situation.
anything. But the point is they want to take this and then scramble it up and say, oh, well, that's now something new and blah blah blah.
And they try to do it like all of these with the movies, and then they're taking like directly all of the actors and stuff, and now like making it into a comic book. It doesn't seem as, I don't know, like it doesn't seem as true to like, now you're just taking faces of actors and actresses, and like now you have to make, since there's a movie, like you have to make the characters in the comic book now look exactly like those actors, and you don't have any other choice. Like now
Autumn, have you ever read Ultimates #1?
Mm-mm.
I highly recommend getting Ultimates #1.
Okay,
So Ultimates #1 came out in what, like 2001?
It was 2001.
So in 2001, 8 years before Iron Man 1 and Nick Fury showing up at the end of Iron Man 1,
mm-hmm.
all of the Avengers are sitting around the Avengers headquarters in New York, and they're talking about who's going to play them in the movie. And then black eye patch Nick Fury walks in, and they're like, hey, Nick, who do you think's going to play you? He goes, Samuel L. Jackson, of course. And to me, that's maybe the first time that they kind of called down the lightning and got the thunder. Right.
I'm actually surprised that book is so cheap.
Yeah, and it's amazing that book is cheap. They must have made 1 million of them. But
Oh yeah.
But the point is that's still the first appearance.
Spider-Man and the X-Men stuff at the time.
Yeah.
But it's the first appearance of Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, and they actually say Samuel L. Jackson in it. If I could get one book signed by one actor, that's what I would get signed.
Yeah. You're right beside him. Right? I love that. Yeah, they try. They're just trying too hard. I don't know, but then again, I am 100% never been like a big superhero. Like I love superheroes, but like as far as comics are concerned, I usually, because like I know what happens. I don't need any of this like crazy off like this superhero went and did this, da 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 da. Like I don't need any of that. My thing is like the indie ones, like the weird ones, the ones that are like they only make a couple of them because they were made in like by somebody at their house, like printed on, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want. I want the creepy stuff that has the blood and gore in it, and you know, has the good like the graphic novel aspect of it, because I'm like, I need it in hardback. It needs to be, you know, full color.
Hey, Mal, could please bring up the Amazing Spider-Man 209 image? And I want to get Dennis's take on Kraven's spec.
Well, okay, so first of all, let me preface by saying I did not like Kraven. Yeah, no, Ultra, I think they will end up getting that one right.
Yeah, I mean, HBO Max does great, like at everything I've seen so far.
What did Ultra say?
Ultra said he thinks Green Lantern's going to be the one that gets it right.
Yeah, he's going to say HBO Max does it right with that Green Lantern.
So it's going to be the second best show for DC after Peacemaker?
Yeah, actually, Ultra's right there. Autumn, you totally need to read Faust. By Tim Vigil and David Quinn.
It's a great. You would love that all.
Wow. Ooh.
I got to tell you know what? After I finish what Adam asked me, I got to tell a great David Quinn story. Okay, so Kraven spec. I never liked Kraven until Kraven's Last Hunt, and that book kind of hit me at just the right time. You know, I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time. And I'm reading that and I'm like, holy fuck, this guy is way deeper than they've ever drawn. And then he kills himself. And you're like, how am I going to get more Kraven? I finally just like this guy. And now you just killed him. And you
If
know, and
anyone
so
wants
that's
to like get an audio book, go to the graphic audio and get the Craven's Last Hunt. It's amazing.
I can
That was
only
awesome.
imagine. And they did a novelization of it too, where they added a whole lot more stuff, and so you know,
I
for
think
me,
that's what the graphic audio actually took their audio drama from.
yeah. So for me, Craven died in 1987, and that story was just so damn good. I just couldn't get into anything that brought him back for whatever reason it was. To me, it was just like that was Mount Rushmore, or that was the tip. No, that was the tip of the mountain, and nothing could ever get better than that. And so then I started seeing what they were doing with his kids, and then I was like, okay, then I can respect that you guys are now trying to rebuild the legacy with his kids and leave him what we used to call Bucky dead, which was he's dead, he's not coming back. And then I hear that they brought him back at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
But the point-
it's probably the best. Bring up the Web of Spidey 120 cover. Because I think anyone specking on his kids, this is the book to be getting. Vladimir Kravinoff.
Okay.
Yeah, they bring like that's the thing now. It's most of the times like, how do they bring them back? What is it this time? There's usually just a couple of the same.
With
Like,
Raven, it's more cloning.
yeah, you get like cloning. What?
Resurrection.
Like we're going into the future. We're doing some time travel. Resurrection.
Yeah,
I don't know,
someone
what-
back to the past.
Yeah. Like they're going back in the past, bringing them with them to the future or something like that, the usual. Like, give me the best new inventive way of how to bring a dead character back. That's what I want.
The only thing I want to see is I want to see Chloe Grace Moretz play Callisto. That's why we can, because Aaron Johnson Taylor's playing Craven, so why not?
Well, you heard what's his name? Gladiator's playing some character, and they think he might be the old Craven, that the original Craven, and that he passes the mantle down to his kids.
Okay.
I don't know. The thing
Like I
is,
said, Sony is. I don't know what they're doing bad pimping with these individual movies on Craven and Black Cat, Silver Sable. And look at Morbius. Morbius has been delayed forever now.
well,
It's
here's
old
the problem.
Venom,
I had so much hope for Morbius back in the day when we first saw that Michael Keaton teaser 2 years ago. But then when I saw that the Venom teaser of him coming to the 616 and then immediately blipping out and leaving a little piece of goo, I was like, if that's what we're doing, I don't even need it, guys. You're just it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing if that's all you're doing.
It's Sony being Sony.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Adam. Sony actually, if you look at 2021 the way I look at it, Sony had the 3 biggest nostalgia home runs in the history of geekdom.
Oh yeah.
They had the last season of Karate Kid that was out. They had Ghostbusters Afterlife, and they had
Awesome.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, those 3 are the best home runs that have been hit in 10 years.
Have
In
you
comic.
seen Ghostbusters Afterlife on them?
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters that came out there last year.
I don't think I saw Ghostbusters. I don't think I did. No.
It was really good.
I believe you.
Hey, guys, I got to take a call real quick, okay?
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I want to see King. What is it called? Kingsman. It's like the third
The Kingsman?
of the Kingsman. Yeah, the third one. But
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be like a prequel, like before, like the original Kingsman?
I think so.
I want to because.
I have to rewatch
Do
the
you
full
like
movie.
those? Do you like those movies? I love those movies.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
The source material, the Secret Service, is created by my favorite comic book creator, Mark Miller.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's about like the original Spies before like the Kingsman, the 1 and the 2 that they have now. I think it's like a prequel, which I'm super excited about because Kingsman's just cool. Like British spies are just cool. Like they're definitely cooler than regular like American spies.
Nice. Yeah, I have to rewatch the movie when I'm like awake and not falling asleep through it.
Exactly. Speaking of asleep, I do have to call it a night. for
Okay.
now. I do, but I will wait until D gets back that way.
All right. Thank you very much for being a part of the Awesome Sauce family. Thank you for being the sexiest woman in all of comic book investments. Everyone, go to autumnsouth.com. Get yourself a custom made or have
Follow
a
me on
fantasy
Twitter.
build.
Follow me on
Don't forget our
Twitter.
YouTube channel back.
Hopefully, we can get the YouTube channel back. We'll see. If not,
We're gonna have Autumn come to a comic book convention with Awesome Sauce Media, and she'll be
of course we
cosplaying.
will. I just don't know which one yet. We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
Because I mean, honestly, I don't know. I couldn't miss Exotica New Jersey, but I don't know. Like, I might have to see if it's around the same time because it seems like it is. It says October 6th or 9th.
Yeah, that's New York Comic Con, 6th through the 9th.
But wait, New Jersey Exotica.
Is Exotica the 6th through the 9th this year too?
No, Exotica is the end of October, and then New York Comic Con is the beginning.
Okay.
Is the 6th or the 9th. So we'll definitely be able to make it to that.
I know this is way too much.
Tell you brother.
Grandma Smith is having trouble breathing. So yeah, we talked to her the same day we talked to Jim and me. And she could barely get worked out.
Need to be put somewhere safe
Okie doke.
so they don't get ruined.
Okay, we're in the process of wrapping up here. I'll get Dennis back shortly.
For the last 2 weeks, he pulled the plug and he's still brain dead and living.
But yeah, did you check out Autumn Misty's SoundCloud yet?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna do that after I get off here. I just have to find her Twitter again because her Twitter got demolished.
But I mean,
Yeah, so how did her Twitter get demolished?
I don't know, but it did, which really sucks. Like, that's what I'm saying. Anytime that a
Because she was really on her.
social media can kick a adult content creator off of a platform, they're gonna do it. Whatever rhyme reason they have, they're going to. That's just the way that it works. Even if we try to do half, like I'm trying to do something that is a little bit more mainstream than just the
Oh yeah,
X
it's
content.
fucking insane.
give my best to everybody.
But
All right.
I don't know. I guess we'll see if YouTube comes back. If YouTube doesn't come back, maybe we'll have to post it somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll start a mini vids or something just for that.
And I'll never be banned from Pornhub. So
Yeah, mini vids is good too.
yeah,
Hey guys, sorry I had to go away there for a second.
it's all right. I'm getting ready to head out. So it was
I
nice.
gotta head out in the next 15 minutes, but
It was nice talking to you and meeting you.
definitely hopefully we'll run into each other at the convention season.
Of course. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
All right,
we'll
Adam.
figure it out. So Autumn, you have a great night.
You too.
And
Thank you guys for watching Awesome Sauce Radio. And I'm Autumn, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
What was that? What was the other thing we were going to talk about, Adam?
basically, I wanted to give you an update since the last time we talked off camera.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I decided to do a by appointment warehouse in New York. Just because I found a really good deal, and it'll be a little bit less stressful at the moment because I'm doing some caretaking for a family member.
Okay.
And I just thought that doing a full retail thing would just be time consuming.
I told you, man, it's life sucking. It sucks the soul right out of your day. I I mean, some people still love it. Some people love waking up in the morning and going into their store. But man, for me, at a certain point, it was like dealing with Diamond and dealing with all these other problems that are compounded now. And you
my heart is really into the podcast right now. So
yeah,
I just incorporate retail and the great thing about New York City is I can do a pop-up, get a pop-up shop in a physical realistic location for a day or two, do my thing, get out, bring everything back to the warehouse. And
I mean, just remember a year ago, Adam, when your podcast was good, but it was nothing like this. And just think about with another year of grinding it out like you've been doing for the last year, man. I mean, stick with it. Focus on this. Don't lock yourself in. Appointment only is great because you can go, hey, I'm not taking appointments this week because I'll be over at this convention.
Yep. And we have to have the reunion of Clowntown one of these days.
Yep.
Because I did want to just say I can send this to him. Our good friend Lauren Becker. Can you send a message to him?
You want me to?
That the Olive Garden is not real food.
My son loves Olive Garden, so I don't. I've actually had Olive Garden with Lauren and my kids because my son actually loves Olive Garden. So I ain't saying nothing about Olive Garden or Lauren Becker and Olive Garden.
Okay.
I'm
actually happy for him. His Star Wars #1 variant popped.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Let me tell you a story about that. Oh my God. So I went to our local con, which Lauren is always set up at. I rarely have time to go, but I happened to go that week, and it was the week.
City?
I'm sorry?
Is that Motor City Comic Con?
No, the Livonia Nights Hall show.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, my son is like trolling in the background here. I see you, son.
For funny dentist stories, he's more than welcome to.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm going through the show, and some guy on the back. So like Becker's over in this corner, and some guy in the opposite corner of the show. And I'm flipping through his box, and he's got Becker's black and white Star Wars 1, graded 9/8. And he's got it for like $150. And I'm like, I thought the black and white was the rarer one.
No, it's the color one, apparently.
He made 3,000 of the color. Now, the color looks great because it's colored like with real texture and everything. But the black and white, there's only 1,500 of.
Yeah, and you can still order the black and whites off of his eBay store as the colors have been gone for about a year now.
Well, how much does he charge for the black and whites on his eBay store?
I think they're like $30, $35, something like that.
Okay.
I haven't been on his eBay store in a while because, me and him had played this game where I'll message him and, it'll take him a little bit to get back to me, which is cool.
I have that same problem.
The last time we talked, he was, trying to get his daughter to listen to the Jerky Boys, and that became the focus of the conversation.
So I ended up getting it. I said, hey, what's the lowest you'll take for this? And he goes, 120. So I bought it for $120. And so I'm carrying this thing around. And then we go to a store right up the road from that mall or from that show. And in their case, they have a stack of these books. The black and white Lauren Becker. I go, oh, you got the Becker variant. Now, meanwhile, this guy has a store in Detroit, and they have no idea who Lauren Becker is.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, you should lose your I own a store in Detroit card if you don't know who Lauren Becker is.
Warp 9 Comics.
What?
Warp 9 Comics, which is now owned by
Well, yeah, I think it's Trevor or something like that.
Yeah, Trey is what I think he goes by.
Yeah, Trey.
And Lauren Becker in 1998 took a visually impaired fat kid under his wing and taught him everything he knew. And I am forever grateful to everything Lauren's ever done.
There you go. Becker and I don't get along on a lot of topics, but we do get along when it comes to comic books, and that's what I love about our relationship.
Oh yeah, like Lauren is the only person I reached out to when I was at School for the Blind out in Rochester Hills, Michigan, back in 2015. And we went out for dinner one night, and he just put a smile on my face, and he's just like, why did you just find a way to still being in the comic book industry and be blind? And this is where I'm at today with Awesome Sauce Radio.
There you go, man. Here's the thing, man. That's what I love about this. This world is too small to get into these petty arguments where people who know each other won't ever talk to each other. I see people on even the shows that you and I are a part of. They're like, oh, I won't talk with this guy, and that guy won't talk with this guy, and don't even mention this guy around that guy, or that guy's going to leave, and blah, blah. It's like, dude, get over your fucking self, dude. If you said, by the way, Dennis, here's Mark Waid, I'd stay right here and I'd have an hour to 2 hour long conversation with Mark Waid, even though I need to go to bed because I got a stress test in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not that great.
Right.
Because I have a little bit of it. It's not on your level, but
But you see what I'm saying? I disagree with everything that Mark Waid has ever said or done in the last 20 years of comic books. I think he's been wrong about everything.
Try being his blind consultant.
But I'll talk to him. I won't not talk to him.
Yep.
I'll talk to Dan DiDio. I have a running argument that Dan DiDio did everything wrong for DC Comics for 10 straight years. I'll talk to him. He cost me tons of money. I was just flipping through 3 long boxes of Superman Unchained. Number 1.
That's beautiful spec during what class it would have meant.
Oh my God, what a horrible.
You can still get the 1-100s to like under $50.
Dude, I think you can get them for under 20 if you wait long enough. I went through an entire long box of Batman Odyssey.
Oh, that clusterfuck.
The worst Neil Adams book ever made. When Neil Adams demands $40 for his autograph, I'm like, how much do you pay anybody who bought Batman Odyssey?
Yeah, I don't read it. Not even the audio comic. I was like, nah. You can bring up the last, picture of Blue Beetle number 3.
Uh-oh.
Dennis, the last thing I want to bring up, your thoughts on Peacemaker.
That's Peacemaker?
Yep, that's the first modern-day Peacemaker.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that was a good series. I like that Blue Beetle series.
Oh yeah, it's great. I hope they do it right for the sprint.
Absolutely. Well, I should take off here, Adam. I appreciate you.
Where can everyone find you on the internets?
Well, guys, Wonderworld Comics on Whatnot, WonderworldComics.com, DL Barger 313 on Instagram. Dude, just Google me, you'll find me.
Dennis, I want to thank you for being my friend. I want to
thank you for being my friend, Adam. Jesus.
And everyone, like I said, Dennis, thank you for being a guest tonight. This was a blast.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yep. Well, everyone, I would like to thank my sponsors. 98 Wednesdays. Get your comic books in a guaranteed 98 each and every Wednesday. Want to thank Wonderworld Comics, WonderworldComics.com. Go get some books to them, especially some of their exclusives. Exotica. Exotica is the sexiest connection on God's green earth. April 30th through May 1st. Go check them out. And of course, you got Key Collector Comics. Key Collector, the greatest app on God's green earth. Blind Adam, all one word. 2 weeks free of Key Collector Comics on Blind Adam. And then, of course, you got the Big Apple Comic Con. Mr. Carbonaro, please return a phone call or an email so I can make sure that I'm there on March 26th at the New Yorker Hotel. And, of course, Bad Dragon, www.baddragontoys. Brad-Dragon.com. All the toys you ever need to spice up the life in between the sheets. Check out my good friend, one of my business collaborators, Calamity Collectibles, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Whatnot. We're going to be doing a second show during the week where I'm going to guest star with him until Whatnot gets my application accepted. But go check out Calamity Collectibles Wednesday at 7 p.m. Search the Misty Love on SoundCloud. The song Malibu Nights is amazing. Remember, you don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. I love you all. If no one has said that they love you today, I love you. Keep your pip-pat strong. Pay for your porn. Kick ass. Take names. Pimp whores. Gang dame. Good night. Blind out. I'm out.